welcome, Bizarro World. Fuck it. I guess talk to me on my live stream, please. Oh my god. Never mind. Great time. Welcome to the party bed. Yeah. Literal fireworks. Because people think it's 4th of July. Yeah. Woo! America! The day after America. Yay! We love America. Not saying that we don't love America. I hope it's like that's these people are welcoming to the ghetto. But I guess I have clapping to welcome you. You welcome. I am your super positive saint of awesome. Your superstone sage, Saint Nikki Get the Grit. And I am here to share with you part 2 of God Said. The name of that book is Jesus Who. Who is Jesus? Well, we are following him on his shit talking tour, and we are going to find it out exactly who the man in front of the wings is. So that's what we're doing. And if that sounds interesting to you, I have the 6 C's for whatever time it is where you are. I have cannabis, cigarettes, coffee, chairs with your name on it and with a cat on it, cat beds, and canine space. So bring your animals and come on. We have a good time. Now, I should take this spaceship we're on and go to Bizarro World to see if we can pick some people up. Ooh. So, we are about to pass the Twilight Zone. We are going to take the left. Then we're going to go to the fork in the road.
I love it! You guys are so great!
And then we're getting off at Bizarro World. So, let's go find out how far in Bizarro World we can go. First, we gotta stop at YouTube so we can even pick up our spaceship to show around. Yeah. Now, let's share me out to great places. If you are here, share me with different weirdos. You know, people that exist on different planes. They can come to my part of the universe. I don't fucking fit in anywhere. You wouldn't believe how many places I try to fit in and they kick me out of. That's why I got my own place. And all of you guys are welcome. You're welcome with me wherever I'm at. And we can cause trouble together. Which would be super fantastic, right? You know what? I want to share this in Christian places, but I know they'll get so mad at me if I do that. You know what? I'm going to post it down here, not in a Christian group. And we're going to see what happens. So, everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming. I highly appreciate you. Don't forget to press like and subscribe because we're going to have a good time. So, yesterday, where we left off, yay, fireworks for that ass. Jesus stopped in Capernaum, okay, and he was telling them, pick up your cross and follow me. So let's go commit some crimes. I don't believe Jesus said that. Anyway, and he's telling them, if you do these kind things, it's like you're doing it for me. So it'll be like you're super blessed. Don't even worry about it, right? It's crazy. Don't worry about it. Smash. Yeah. Let's do that again times 3. Where am I at? Okay. I'm right here. Okay. So that's what Jesus was telling them. And then he left there. So we're picking up when he's about to leave. So it says, and it came about when Jesus had finished giving instructions to his disciples, he departed from there to teach and preach in their cities. Now, when John in prison heard of the works of Christ, he sent words by his disciples. And they were like, are you the guy? I know John already said you were the guy, but we just want to make sure you're the guy. You know what I mean? Because it's very important if you're the guy. And Jesus is like, well, come with me and find out. You'll see all sorts of shit. And then you can tell Jean le Baptiste if I am or not. It's called doing your own research. And right now, you're going to do your own research, and it's going to be great. Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay. And then Jesus said, wait, the blind will, yeah, all this kind of cool shit was happening. And the poor people will have the gospel preached to them. And blessed is he who keeps from stumbling over me. Yeah. Don't get confused on who Jesus is. Because he's not that guy. And as these were going away, Jesus began to speak to the multitudes about John. And he said, what did you go in the wilderness to look for? A reed shaken by the wind? But what did you go to see? A man dressed in soft clothing? Behold, those who wear soft clothing are in kings' palaces. But why did you go out to see a prophet? Yep. And I'm telling you, it's way more than a prophet. Like you have no idea. This is about the one that it is written about that said, "Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare the way before you." Because listen, I'm telling you, among those born of women, there has not risen anyone greater than Jean le Baptiste. Yet he who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. Weirdos fucking matter. And from the days of John until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and violent men take it by force. Look, somebody needs to be here. Tell me if you're in the chat, because this is important. Where's everybody at? I should be waiting. I should have been waiting for people to get here. But I didn't. And now nobody's here, and we're at the part that I gotta preach. Man, hey, are people here? People need to come. Let me know you're here, because this is really important. Like, this is how we know Angel Boot Camp is Earth. We're sent down here because there's a war in heaven that needs fighters. People need to be here. Man, these dick fucks, it is not 4th of July. They could have saved all this shit and did it yesterday. But I suppose it is a Saturday night and not everyone does preaching on a Saturday. But I wasn't expecting to be preaching on a Saturday. But here we are. Okay. So Jesus starts talking about there's a war in heaven, right? And from the days of John until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and violent men take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you care to accept it, he himself is Elijah who has come. He who hears, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. But to what shall I compare this generation? It is like children sitting in the marketplaces who go out to other children and say, "We played the flute for you, but you did not dance. We sang a song for you, but you did not mourn. Oh, we sang a sad song and you were not sad." Okay. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and you guys called him a demon. The Son of Man came. I'm eating and I'm drinking, and that shit is so good. And you call me drunk. Okay. Whatever you say, dude. Right? And not only you call me a friend of sinners, yet wisdom is vindicated by her deeds. So you'll see if I am or if I'm not. You yourself will see. Do your own research. Then he began to reproach the cities, which most of his miracles were done because they did not repent. So pretty much he's like, "Oh, y'all, I'm talking mad shit about all of you countries right now, because it will be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon in the last days of judgment than for you. And you, Capernaum, will not be exalted in heaven, will you? You shall descend to Hades. For if the miracles had occurred in Sodom, which record in you, it would have remained to this day. Nevertheless, I'm telling you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for you. And I thought Jesus lived in Capernaum, but I'm not exactly sure now if he lives in Capernaum or not. Nevertheless, I will say to you, it shall be more tolerable. Oh, never mind, I read that. At that time, Jesus said, I praise thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that you do hide these things from the wise and the intelligent, and does reveal them to babes. So I'm so glad you don't let these smart people know your secret. I'm glad babies do. I'm glad weirdos know what I'm saying. Yay. Yes, Father, for it was well pleasing in your sight. All things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son but the Father, nor does anyone know the Father except for the Son, and anyone that the Son reveals to him. Remember, I told you, I'll turn you away at the party, at the line. I'll make you go to back of line. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you shall find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my load is light. But you need a yoke because it's actually hard, and you need to be pulled to the right direction a lot. A lot of people miss what a yoke is. A yoke is something that keeps, you put in the mouth and you steer. Yeah, that's what that is. And Jesus is like, don't worry, I'll gently tug you in the right direction because you are definitely going to go in the wrong direction if I ease up on you. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Right. Learn from, don't take nobody's shit and don't lie. Tell people about themselves. Believe it. Look, all throughout this book, Jesus is going to be telling these motherfuckers about themselves. These terrible ass God people. Believe it. Oh my God. He's the funniest. Okay. For my yoke is easy and my load is light, but the path is hard. Notice he doesn't tell you that. The path is stony and rocky and tiresome. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 11. So we're in between chapters. Hello, everybody. Man, is everybody at the day after fireworks? I don't know. But I suppose. Hi, everyone. We're in between chapters right now. Chat in the chat. Let me know what you're drinking and what you're smoking. I'm drinking water this evening. I'm drinking water this evening. Sorry. The Detroit in me comes out sometimes. And I'm smoking on LD menthol. Why I thought. Oh, there they are. LD menthols. What's everybody else drinking and smoking on? And as everybody press like and subscribe, please do. I'm trying to get to 500 because then I only have to get watch hours to get monetized so I can buy some dog food for my raccoons. So please help me in my plight to feed my raccoons. It'd be amazing. Thank you. Anybody telling me? Nobody? Everybody left? Oh, well, okay. We'll go on to chapter 12. Yeah, we'll do chapter 12 and call it a night. Okay. So, then, okay. So, Jesus is about to tear up this Sabbath. So, see, Jesus is expediting his demise. What chapter am I on? I'm on chapter 12 of Matthew. Literally just starting it right now. And hi, by the way, I don't know how to say your name, but I am the sage Saint Nikki K the Great. It is a pleasure to meet you. So let me know when you're there. And just to know, I ad lib a lot. So I'll read it, but mostly I'll ad lib because it's better that way. Let me turn this light on. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's way better. Okay. Is that better? Okay. Love Matthew. Been reading that as well. Yeah. This is a fun ass book. And really, I did the Sermon on the Mount the other day. I can find it and post it because it's nothing like I've ever heard before. And I thought it was cool. Damn. Okay. I don't remember where it is because, I'm a rackham retard. So, anyway, I did that the other day. But we're on chapter 12. So, let's go. Okay. And at that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath through the grain fields, and his disciples became hungry and began to pick the heads of the grain and eat. Here we go. Jesus, the gangster, he's about to look. These people are gonna try to roll up on Jesus and give him the business. And Jesus is gonna bitch slap that ass with baby powder. Check it out. Okay. But when the Pharisees saw it, they rolled up on him and was like, the fuck, yo? this is Sabbath. And then Jesus was like, and didn't you hear what David did? I mean, I'm totally telling you this wrong, but did you hear what he did? Well, and you're not even going to call me out on the fact that I might have got this wrong a little bit because, they just read this and this kind of didn't happen. But you're not going to call me out on it, so fuck you. And I can do whatever I want because Sabbath is for y'all. It's not for me. Anyway, all of that was totally, totally not what happened. Anyway, now, have you heard about what David did? How he entered the house of God and he ate the consecrated bread, which was not lawful for him to eat, nor for those with him, but for the priests alone. Or have you not read in the law that on the Sabbath, the priests of the temple break the Sabbath and are innocent? Like literally, he's comparing his disciples to priests and David. Like his disciples are as important to him as David or a priest. I wonder if they notice how high of an honor that is. That he sees you on the level of a priest and on the level of David. And David was God's favorite, like literally God's bestie. And for Jesus to compare them to those, I think is very psychologically uplifting if they even understood what Jesus was saying. Or even if the priests understood, which I'm guessing they did because they're good at word magic. So, which is probably why they didn't say anything after this, because Jesus put them up on that pedestal so high. What do you think? I mean, do you think that that could be why? I mean, yeah, yeah. But then Jesus continues. He says, listen, I'm telling you something greater than the temple of the Lord is here. But if you had known what that means, I desire compassion and not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the innocent. For the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. And departing from there, he went into their synagogue. So Jesus gives zero fucks. He goes into their space. He goes into their space and teaches them and embarrasses them in their own fucking church. What do you think about that? Isn't that the most gangster shit ever? Jesus is like, I'm going to mic drop you over here, and then I'm going to mic drop you in your own house. Is that not the most gangster shit you've ever heard in your life? That's like a crip going into a blood's house and talking mad shit about the head crip. You just don't do that. And Jesus did that. Is that not the coolest shit ever? I feel like that's the coolest shit ever. Does anybody not think that's cool? I mean, I think that's cool. Yeah, but isn't that like what Jesus is doing right at this exact second? Setting up his concert inside their church. Like, remember, he's on his tour. So he stops his tour on the Sabbath inside their fucking church. Okay. So that's what he does. And departing from it, he went in. And behold, there was a man with a withered hand. And they questioned him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? In order that they might accuse him. And he said, what man here among you who will have one sheep, and if it falls into the pit, will not take hold of it and lift it out? Look, talk to me on my YouTube. Talk to me on my YouTube. I don't even know who's messaging me. Oh, you can message me that, okay? Okay. So Jesus is like, would you not take hold of it and lift it out? How much more valuable is a man than a sheep? So, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath? I don't know. I think it is. And then he healed the dude's hand. So, the Pharisees went out and counseled together so they might destroy him. But Jesus ruled out, and many followed him, and he healed them all because Sabbath. Because this is his wellness tour, and everybody knows that. So he's going to do a little shit talking and then do most healing. So they come for the healing, but stay for the concert. And he warned them not to make him known, in order that what was spoken through Isaiah might be fulfilled, saying, a servant who I have chosen, my beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not quarrel, nor cry out, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. A battered reed he will not break off, and a smoldering wick will not put out, until he leads justice to victory. And on his name the Gentiles will hope. Then there was brought to him a demon-possessed man who was blind and not very smart, and he healed him so that that guy knew the stock market. And then all the multitudes were like, what's a stock market? And then he began to say, this man cannot be son of David, can he? No, actually, absolutely not, because he has nothing to do with the semen of Joseph. But whatever, we're just going to go with it. But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this man casts out demons. And Jesus said, I've already told you before That's not how chess works. If I get rid of myself, then, if I get rid of myself, then, you know, there won't be no point in playing. That's not how that works. But let me tell you, right? And but if by Beelzebul I cast out demons, by whom do your sons cast them out? Consequently, they shall be your judges. But if I cast out demons by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God has come to you. How can anyone enter a strong man's house and carry off his property unless both he, beats him up really bad and ties him up? He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. Therefore, listen, I'm telling you, any sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven, but blasphemy against the Spirit is not forgiven. And whoever speaks a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But if you speak against the Holy Spirit, it is not forgiven, neither in this age or the age to come. You go to back of line. Either make the tree and the fruit good or make the tree and the fruit bad. There is no great fucking tree. You brood of vipers. How can you, being evil, speak what is good? For the mouth speaks what is within. The heart speaks. The mouth speaks what the heart feels. The good of man. The good man out of his good treasure brings forth what is good. And the evil man from his evil treasure brings forth what is evil. Angel Boot Camp down here in heaven, or on earth, it's Angel Boot Camp. And I say to you that every careless words men speak, they shall render account for it in the day of judgment. For by your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. I'm doing a good job. Then some of the scribes and Pharisees answered him, saying, Teacher, we want to see a sign from you. And Jesus is like, I would like you to fuck off. And he rolls out. I want to see a sign. But he said, fuck no. You know what? I'll give you Jonah. Read the book of Jonah, right? For as Noah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a sea monster, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh shall stand up with this generation at judgment and condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonah, and behold, something greater than Jonah is here. The queen of the south shall rise up against this generation, but the judgment and shall condemn it, because she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, something greater than Solomon is here. Now, when When the unclean spirit goes out of a man, it passes through waterless places, seeking rest, and does not find it. Then it says, okay, I'm going back home because, yeah. But he finds it really like looking great. So then he invites his homies over. Then before you know it, chips and shit and salsas everywhere. Yeah. Look, it's going to be bad. That is the way it'll be with this generation. While he was still speaking, behold, his mother. I wish people were here. I mean, not you, but there are some other people that are supposed to be here, and I wish they were here because it's so important. Okay. And someone said to him, your mother and your brothers are standing outside. And Jesus is like, I have no idea who that is. No, these people over here are my mother and my brother. Those that do God's will, not people that pretend to. Or people that lie to me about who I am. Totally not cool. Just gonna say that. It's not cool that they're not my mother and my brothers. I don't know them. And that's the end of chapter 12. So I want to thank y'all for watching. I want to tell ya it's time to give the pillows some head and the sheets some ass and have the greatest night ever. Unless anybody's got anything. I'm going to wait a second to see. No, nothing. Okay, so give the pillows some head and the sheets some ass. I love you so much.